So we are joined by Moore Lee this morning of K Green Card, and we are going to be discussing, or he's going to be discussing a solution to the labor shortage. So he's going to talk about the program and how you guys can use that to your benefits. So whenever you're ready, Moore, you can go ahead and start.
Thank you, Makana. Good morning. Thank you very much for attending this information session. My name is Moore, CEO of K Green Card. Also, thank you Oshkosh Chamber of Commerce and Mr. John Casper for providing this opportunity. Today, I'd like to suggest a unique solution for the labor shortage that Oshkosh is facing. I want to share the screen. Yes. Yeah. K Green Card is a foreign worker sourcing agent for employers in Oshkosh. I'm in charge of business planning and employee recruitment with more than 20 years of experience in education consulting for international students in Central Boarding Academy. Ryan is an immigration lawyer with more than 15 years of experience, and he is in charge of legal advice and filing, including visa and permanent residency. Marcus is a native of the region with a master's degree from Oshkosh, in charge of employer service. First of all, we would like to look at the current state of the labor shortage in our area. This graph shows the employment status of Oshkosh and Neenah in recent years. Blue shows the number of employment demand, and orange shows the number of employment supply. The difference between supply and demand can be understood as the total amount of labor shortages in Oshkosh and Neenah area. As you can see, the labor shortage is not a temporary phenomenon caused by COVID or any specific event. It is a chronic problem in this area. In other words, if we depend only on the local labor market for supply and demand of labor, we must always take this labor shortage into account when making a recruitment plan. So, as a way to solve the labor shortage in this area, I'd like to propose to legally hire foreign workers through the employment-based visa program, which already created by the government. This is the types of a visa that foreign workers can obtain on the basis of employment in the United States. Among them, the visa that are sponsored by US employers and can employ foreign workers are mainly H-1B and EB-3. Sorry. Taking a closer look at EB-3 and H-1B, EB-3 has three categories: professional, skilled, and unskilled. Among these three categories, professional and skilled visas have a strict qualification requirement for applicants. And the prevailing wage itself, which the Department of Labor sets the minimum wage that the employer must pay when hiring such a foreign workers, is set high. In reality, these two categories are not practical for the employers in this area. In addition, H-1B applicants with a bachelor's degree or higher can apply for this visa only for professional occupations. So H-1B will be covered in more detail later. As a result, as a way to solve the labor shortage of employers, especially for unskilled workers, I propose you to sponsor EB-3 unskilled visa, which many meat processing companies and national brand chain restaurants have been using this visa program to solve their labor shortages. Jobs that can be hire foreign workers through the EB-3 unskilled visas are, first, job that can hire foreign job that can hire foreign workers through the EB-3 unskilled visa, job that can be performed with less than 2 years of experience or training. And second, sorry, cursor does not work. The second, full-time job. And third, it is the job position in labor shortage. In addition, USCIS calls the EB3 unskilled visa as other workers visa, which means that you can apply for all jobs except for all the previously mentioned professional jobs with a bachelor's degree or higher, and skilled jobs that require at least 2 years of experience of training. After all, you can think of all of the entry-level job positions that we often talk about in the job market that belong to EB3 unskilled visa. For EB3 unskilled visa, there's no specific qualification for the eligibility of applicants. That is the beauty of this visa, because the only eligibility requirement for this visa is that you must be 18 years of age or older. Whether or not this visa is approved is entirely up to the employer. There's no reason to deny this visa if it can only be proved that the employer is financially sound enough to hire a sponsoring employee and the job being offered is in labor shortage. Then the question arises as to who the foreign workers employed through EB3 unskilled visa are and whether they can be trusted. We understand that the eligibility of the EB3 unskilled category is open to anyone 18 years old or older. However, the solution we propose is to maximize the interest of employers far more than typically employing foreign workers through this visa program. It is to hire international students who are currently attending or graduating from university in the United States. Specifically, we try to hire Korean international students wherever possible. In this way, employers can hire highly educated and motivated unskilled workers, even with English proficiency, for a guaranteed period of 1 year, thereby resolving the labor shortage as well as establishing long-term and predictable workforce plans. And international students can obtain permanent residency, so there will be a win-win. You may be wondering why Korean international students attending the US university are trying to obtain permanent residency through unskilled employment. For a very long time, and to this day, all international students studying in the United States have thought H-1B is the only visa that allows them to work in the United States. However, at the same time, because of the following points of H-1B, most international students could not get work visas even if they had sufficient work qualification, which is why they had no choice but to return to their home countries. The reason is, first, H-1B visa offer only the limited job category, which doesn't accommodate all majors. And second, no matter how high GPA they are getting, they have to go through a lottery system. Most likely 3 times the quota is applied. Also, only 85,000 H-1B visa per year are assigned for all the international students in the United States. The H-1B acquisition rate for Korean students is relatively low. For this reason, many international students, especially excellent Korean international students, return to their home countries because they do not receive H-1B in the United States. According to statistical data, 60 to 70% of all Korean international students return to Korea every year for that reason. However, there's a growing number of international students who want to work in the company related to their major later as a permanent resident, after working for the employer that sponsored permanent residence for 1 year through EB3. This chart shows the H-1B approval rate by country. This chart is issued in 2019. When you see the South Korean students acquisition rate for H-1B, only 4,000 students are getting H-1B. But that year, the total non-Korean international students in the United States are 55,000 students. So the population itself is Korean students population is sorry, it's a 5% out of total international students in the United States. But if you see just only 2019, 4,000 students are getting H-1B, means only 1.1% out of the total international students, Korean students are getting H-1B. So even though population rate is 5% out of a total international students, but H-1B approval rate is only 1%. So relatively, students are getting low H-1B acquisition rate. EB3 process is rather complicated and takes about an year and a half. However, the most of the legal and filing process will be handled by K-Green Card. The start of this process is to discover and select the employers through a job site visiting or webinar like today. The next step begins by matching the employee with the employer and applying to the Department of Labor for a prevailing wage decision of the job position offered by employer. Newspaper advertisement in accordance with the law must prove that the job for which the employer is applying is experiencing a labor shortage due to the lack of application from a US citizen. So you can think of it as outdated immigration law that cannot actually attract even a single applicant through this kind of ads. And once the permission for the employer to hire foreign workers is granted, the immigration process of the employee starts from that point. Once the employee obtains permanent residency through this process, the employee will start working for the sponsoring employer from then on. EB3 unskilled is widely used as a recruitment channel for foreign workers in nationwide chain restaurants, meat processing companies, and manufacturers. The purpose of EB3 visa is not an immigration policy intended to fill the labor shortage of these large corporations, but a system prepared for small and medium-sized enterprise, SMEs. Unfortunately, there are not many SMEs that benefit for this visa program. The lack of access to this kind of information and the lack of agents like us, K-Green, will also be a factor. To support the smooth relocation of employee coming through this visa process, we help employee find housing and also provide transportation to and from the work. And we will listen to their needs and provide various services for their convenience and play a role in resolving and reconciling complaints that may arise between employers and employees. This is a work experience vlog video we made to promote employers. So let's watch it for a moment. The employers can benefit from this visa program. First, they can hire highly educated employees with the English proficiency for unskilled jobs. Second, employees with a 1-year retention guarantee are regularly hired to establish a predictable and long-term workforce supply and demand plan. Third, there's no cost to hire foreign workers at all. And fourth, a dedicated lawyer can handle all procedures on behalf of your company, allowing foreign workers to be hired through a transparent and legal process. All an employer has to do is to fill out a simple questionnaire. And once the employee's green card is issued, you secure a job position for this visa process. Those are all you need to do for this. There's no cost involved in employer at all, and we do all the work for you. There's no follow-up report or inspection by the immigration office in relation to the permanent residence of the employee at all. I have worked in Oshkosh for 23 years as a head administrator and a college admission consultant of the Central Boarding Academy, established on UW Oshkosh campus. As $1 million a year of Central Boarding Academy's revenue has come from South Korea and China in the last 20 years, and 100% of this revenue goes to Oshkosh for schools and local community. We also run the CBA Scholarship Foundation and provide the scholarship to UW students every year. I'm really honored to be able to contribute it to the Oshkosh region, even though it is small. And I'm always proud of being the Oshkosh resident. I have not hesitated to promote the advantage of Oshkosh educational environment when international students are considering studying abroad in the United States. Likewise, I would like to introduce Oshkosh, which is full of good people and good companies, to many foreign people who are considering a job in the United States. Now, thank you very much for listening for a long time. If you have any question, we'll sincerely answer for that.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Moore. I think it's a very awesome program. So I'll be sure to send this to the people who registered for the class, and I will also post it on our website as a resource for people to check it out. So I don't think I have any questions in the queue, but thank you very much for your time this morning. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Mecca. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I
appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. You have a great day.
You have a great day too. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you.